Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to English online class. Today, we'll be talking about grammar. There are, some, any, a lot of, and preposition in Unit 4, Somewhere to Live. In this lesson, you'll be able to identify how to use there is and there are, distinguish some, any, and a lot of, use prepositions correctly. So now let's just look at our lesson. When do we use there is and there are? Actually, there is and there are refer to the existence or presence of something or someone. So in Khmer we say នៅពេលដែលយើងប្រើ there is there are នៅពេលដែលយើងចង់បង្ហាញពីវត្តមានឬក៏អ្វីមួយសម្រាប់នរណាម្នាក់ឬក៏អ្វីមួយ and there is used for singular count noun and uncount nouns. For example, there is a man sitting on the chair. So in this sentence, it is singular count noun, a man. Okay. Another example is that there is some milk in the fridge. So some milk here is uncountable noun. So now let's just look at there are. There are is used with plural noun. អញ្ចឹងយើងប្រើ there are ជាមួយនឹងនាមជាច្រើនឬក៏គេហៅថានាមពហុវចនៈ There are a lot of students in the class. អញ្ចឹងយើងប្រើថាមានសិស្សជាច្រើននៅក្នុងថ្នាក់ Note ចំណាំ For contraction សម្រាប់ contraction គឺគេហៅថាទម្រង់កាត់ What is contraction in short? Contraction when we use two words combined as one. For example, there is. We say there's. There are. There's. Actually, it's quite difficult for there are into a contraction form because in here it's kinds of your vibration for your sore throat, like there are, there. There is, there's. Okay, just like that. So now let's just look at the form of there is and there are. Actually, you know, there are three particularly form for every tense, for affirmative or positive, negative, and question. So as you know that there is used with singular, count, and uncount noun. So let's just look at the example of positive form. There is a sofa. So here is singular. Why? Because it is a sofa. So now let's just look at there are two bedrooms. So it here we talk about plural because two is plural. So now let's just look at the negative of there is and there are. The negative of there is, you say there isn't. So there isn't a shower, and there aren't, we say there aren't any teachers. Let's just look at question. Is there a table, and are there any photos? So in here when we want to use there is and there are, you have to make sure that there is used with singular and there are used with plural. So when you want to make it to be a question, you just put is or are before there. Okay, like is there a table? Are there any photos? So let's just look at what we can respond to this question. A short answer. When you say is there a table? So when you agree with that sentence, នៅពេលដែលយើងឆ្លើយថាមាន table អញ្ចឹងទៅយើងថា yes there is បើអត់មានទេ no there isn't. Okay, so when you want to use are there any photos, you have to, like, if you agree with that, you say yes there are. But if you don't agree with that, there aren't any photo there, so you just say no there aren't. So now let's just take a look at how can we identify or distinguish between some, any, and a lot of. We use some with both countable and uncountable nouns for positive form ដូច្នេះយើងប្រើ some ជាមួយនឹងនាមរាប់បាននិងនាមរាប់មិនបាននៅក្នុងទម្រង់ស្រប Example, there are some peaches and there is sugar in the jar. So you see, two of these sentences are the first one plural noun and the second one is uncountable noun. Let's just look at any. We use any with both countable noun and uncountable nouns for negative and question forms. So any is different from some. Some we use with positive form, but any we use with negative and question. So now just take a look at the examples. There aren't any glasses, you see, and you see this sentence is negative, right? And just look at another one. Are there any photos? So this sentence is question. There isn't any juice in the fridge, and this sentence is singular. So now just take a look at a lot of. We use a lot of with both countable and uncountable nouns with positive, question, and negative. So with a lot of, you can use all negative, question, and positive. Let's just look at the example. We got a lot of things to do. So here is a positive sentence. That's a lot of money, and here is a positive sentence, but it is uncountable noun. Are there a lot of golf players at your tennis club? So here is a question form, but for plural. There aren't a lot of choices. In here is a negative sentence, but plural. Okay, so now just take a look at some. As I have mentioned it earlier, some can be used only with positive form, but here is different. So some can be used with question as well, but what it is specially is that it refers to question and offer. Sorry, it refers to request and offer. For example, would you like some milk? So it is like offer. So you offer someone when somebody sitting in a restaurant and then you want to offer them something and then you say would you like some milk, would you like some fruit or something like that. And then when you want to request, you can say can I borrow you some money. So now just take a look at the practice. Complete the sentences using there is, there are, there isn't, there aren't, is there, are there. For the first one, someone looking at me, and here we use there is. Number two, many boys in the school, it is are there because it is in the question form and boy is plural, so you use are there. Number three, there are some photos in her bag. Number four, there aren't any eggs in the fridge. Number five, there isn't any magazine in her room. So magazine here is singular, so you use there isn't. And the last one is there. Is there any soccer stadium here? So now let's just look at preposition. What is preposition? Preposition in Khmer we say "knet." In fact, preposition refers to the position of the place. For example, on, at, in, under, so it talks about the position of something. For example, on, you see, in Khmer we say khang le. So when something on, something that touch to that thing. For example, you see the rabbit is on the chair. Sorry, the rabbit is on the table. So the rabbit is touching the table. And in you know that it's just inside. Under, okay, under khang krong. And next to, when you say something next to, mean very close, okay. And above here is different from on. When we say on, it is touching to something else. For example, rabbit is on the table, so the rabbit is touching the table, but above is higher. So you see, the cat is above the envelope, so the cat is not touching the envelope. Here, near, when we say near, you see two objects are also close, but you have to identify between near and next to. Near is a little bit farther than next to, so next to is very close and near is close. Okay, chẳng như prai chật đi kia bên tay next to with chật chieng. And outside mean not in, just out, like out of the box. Here you see the box and the ball, so outside nơi khang krao. And opposite, when we say opposite mean like the face go together, tuôn mục. So now just look at the pictures and use some prepositions in order to complete in the gap. The first example has been done for you. 1. The flat in Queen's Road. Okay, so in. So the flat is in the Queen's Road. And then you just look at the first floor. It's on the first floor. Okay. It's a kameez, so it above a kameez. Number 4, the kameez is next to a clothes shop. Number 5, there's a mobile phone shop opposite the clothes shop. Number 6, there's a post office near the flat. And number 7, the bus stop is outside the cafe. And number 8, there's a bunch under the tree. So now the lesson is coming to the end, and I believe that what I have just told you about there are some and a lot of and some prepositions. You will all get the knowledge of it, and don't forget to go to do the quiz in Google form, as long as copy the lesson and send back to me as soon as possible. Okay, thank you so much.